Welcome back to the AITEC Philosophy Podcast. I'm Dr. Sam Bennett, and I'm delighted to share a conversation with Israeli philosopher Yochai Ataria. We discussed the 1982 classic film Blade Runner, directed by Ridley Scott and starring Harrison Ford. Yochai has recently published a Heideggerian reading of the film, and the conversation begins with Yochai just giving a kind of introduction to the film for those who haven't seen it or haven't seen it in a while.
Like before this program, I just saw it once again with my eldest son. He's 17 and he couldn't understand anything. And I think I had probably the same experience in the same age. It's not like a movie that you see as a young. It's not like a Fight Club, like whatever. It's not. It's like there are those deep movies which are also like. You are being held by them immediately, but it's not this kind of movie. So I saw it like when in my youth, and then probably once again around 15 years ago. But like I decided to see it once again seriously. Like I just I'm just reading all the classics, so Don Quixote and Thomas Mann and like a series of books, and I decided to take this movie seriously, and I watched it, and then I become obsessed with this with the movie. I saw it, I think, probably like tens of times, and I'm not the only one. The story is actually quite simple. I don't think that the story it's like the real issue here, but it's like there is this Blade Runner. He's like a officer police who has this license to kill Nexus 6, like to kill
Roy Batty, right? Roy?
Yeah, no. They have the license to kill replicants.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. In general, yeah, he's like killing and that's what it means to be a Blade Runner, right? It's
yeah,
like,
to be so he has this this license, and the story is about a few of those automatons or they are androids which look exactly like humans who escape from space and return back to Earth in order to get some more life, because they have this after 4 years they are dying. In order the notion is we want to prevent for them to develop emotions. So after 4 years it's happening, so they are being programmed to die in a way, if you want to say they are dying or whatever. So this is the basic.
Right. Yeah, so it's like we have these advanced androids, also called replicants, which they're sort of located off world. So there's this whole distinction in the movie of like,
in a way you can say that the world is like, in a way, after an atomic war, whatever, like the world is about to be destroyed, or this is the field, the atmosphere. If you are in Earth, you probably had some kind of sickness. Or you are
so like being in Earth is like a bad thing. It means that you're still in this like dystopian place that's like seemingly full of trash and smog. It's like a total like industrial wasteland. And so if you're on Earth, it's actually undesirable.
There are two possibilities: you are poor, or you have some disease which prevent you from going to this space or whatever, off-world.
So the androids, they were originally off-world, and
they actually they have been used in order to, like, if you are going to a place which cannot, like, we cannot survive over there, so they are being sent over there, and they are slaves over there in order to prepare the place for humans, because they have these abilities. They are
right.
robots.
And so some of these guys are like, some of these replicants, they kind of rebel basically, and they come back to Earth. And their goal is, like you said, to kind of have more life, because they've actually been designed to only live for 4 years.
Yeah.
And so you have like a group of replicants who come back to Earth.
Yeah.
And basically, it's like the official authorities are aware of these replicants having, rebelled, come back to Earth, and they need to do something about it. And so then they hire Harrison Ford, Rick Deckard in the movie.
Yeah. So in a way, the story is not, if you're going all the way back to the Czech story about the robot, the first time the word has been used.
Right.
It's like the same stories. For me, actually, I have to say it like at least once. This movie is supposed to be like it's based on Dick's book. But I think it's actually based. It's supposed to be a cover of Dick's book, "Do Androids Dreams of Electric Sheep?" But I think it's actually a cover of Etta Hoffman book about the Sandman. So I think that in terms of philosophy and in terms of literature, it's more based about Etta Hoffman, the Sandman. But this is just a side comment. It's not important for us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what's the name of the Czech author Karel Čapek, I think is.
Yeah.
He's the one who came up with the word robota,
which is it's a slave. It's in Czech. It's simply slave.
Right.
This is a direct translation.
Okay.
So over there, it's always the same stories with robots about there being some kind of doubles that look like people, like humans, and how you like the problem to differentiate, to distinguish. It's always the same story. So in that sense, it's not the story which makes this movie such a great philosophical movie in a way.
Right. Yeah. It's in some ways it's the theme of. Well, yeah. On the one hand, the issue of the creation being hard to distinguish from the genuine. Well, I guess the artificial creation are being difficult to distinguish from the natural or the genuine human in this case.
Yeah,
there's that, and then also the rebellion of the creation. I feel like that's also a sort of classic theme.
Yeah. So it's going, in that sense, it's going all the way back to Descartes. On the one hand, with the notion of automatons who behave like they look like us, they behave like us. So it's going all the way back to Descartes in that sense. And on the other narrative, it's more about the Jewish narrative of the Golem from Prague. So this is simply the background. I just want to say that in that sense, the movie is just another movie. It's like if you're gonna check all the movies, they're always the same in this area. Like it's a golem. He like it's like the slave who want to take over the master. It's in Frankenstein. It's the same. So this is not important for the movie, but this is like the big narrative.
Good. I mean, I don't know if we want to go through like later parts of the plot. I mean, we can just mention that, it's like, he's hired to kill or retire these replicants. Yeah. But then, things get a little bit complicated because he ends up meeting Rachel, who technically is a replicant. but she actually believes she's a human, and then he falls in love with her. So anyway, there's like a love plot where Harrison Ford falls in love with.
Once again, the big issue over there, it's not about the fact he's being in love with her. It's actually about she's asking him over and again, did you ever been in the test? There is this test to identify androids. So he all the time, and in the book, it's even it's much more hard. Like it's much more obvious. He's all the time being asked by different character, did you did the test? How do you know you are not android? So in a way, Rachel is more like a mirror for the card. And once again, the name of the main character is amazing. The card, it's simply the card. It's the same name with a different letter.
Yeah.
So it's very obvious that I'm walking here with the card. It's very obvious. It's not like a big secret. So the issue with Rachel that is like she's a reflection for him. Like, okay, I didn't know I'm an android. Do you know? In a way, the big issue in the movie is that you as a viewer, as a viewer, you need to ask yourself, how do I know my memory are not implanted? How do I know I'm not an android? It's a big issue, I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think what you're touching on there, and maybe we're slightly getting ahead of ourselves, but at any rate, what you're touching on there, you talked about, there's certain features of the film which are not so remarkable. Like, for example, the idea of like the artificial creation kind of rising up, rebelling,
and the fact that if the bad man Roy looked like a Nazi, it's always the same.
Yeah. But you're kind of hitting on here when it comes to the issue of like, basically, you're not sure whether Deckard, Harrison Ford, who's supposed to be hunting the replicants, you're not really sure whether he himself is actually
I think that the big issue here is that René Descartes, in his book, when you read it carefully, you discover that he himself wasn't sure. He has this part in which he asks, "Who I am?" Like he is not sure whether he is a human being. So in that sense, what makes us human? The motto of this company of who made all the androids are too human, all too human in a way.
More human than human.
More human than human. It's like it's reference to Nietzsche, in a way. So the question is, what does it mean to be human in this current age, this technological age? It seems like a decision, not like in my genes or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, in terms of some of its remarkable features, I just would mention like it kind of redefined the sci-fi genre because it's kind of a slower, darker, obviously a kind of philosophical, and it's kind of a meditative movie, and so that's in that sense, like the best movie for me. Like I have a whole book about Kubrick's book 2001, Space Oddity. So in that book there is 2 hours and a half, and there is 17 minutes of talking. It's always silent. So he's going back and forth with Kubrick, and he also was in a direct dialogue with Kubrick. So in that sense, also the opening scene of the movie, it's like Kubrick, completely Kubrick. So this, in a way, silence, it's not about the silence. The silence is important because it gives you time to hear the noises in the background. There is never silence. Like in Kubrick movies, in the space there is this total silence, but in this movie there is all these sounds of electronics machines, always. So, and in a way, this is the feature that make this movie as a movie. I'm not talking about philosophy now. A great movie. The background of the city. The city is like
if you watch The Sopranos, so it's of course Tony is the main character. But if you there is this wait a minute. So if you're watching The Wire, for example, yeah. So the main character of The Wire, is actually Baltimore. So in here again, it's the main, for me, the real hero. The main issue of this movie is actually Los Angeles, is the city. It's like this endless city. This is the place where he's really taking everything a step forward. I think he's in his mind. He saw. Are you familiar with the beginning of Taxi Driver?
Yeah.
This like really dirty New York. So he had this. I think this picture in his back of his head.
That's fascinating. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like the city in this film is very overwhelming. It's really sort of confronting you on a sensory level in terms of, like you said, the noise, the constant rain, the noise, the neon, the crowding.
So it's amazing because all the character, all actually, Ford, for example, the main character, as an actor, he didn't understand anything about the movie. He couldn't understand what actually he is doing, because it was without the background. And then he took the background as a producer. It was in the studio. So in a way, if you want, this movie is also about the importance of the producer. The character couldn't understand what they're doing in the movie. It is amazing because it was so disconnected. And it's actually very important because the figure always feels that they are not at home in the movie. Everybody, this uncanny feeling. Everybody feels stranger, but the androids feel at home. They are part of this because they are direct outcome of the technological mode of being, in a way. I know this interview going all like, I'm sorry, it's always like that with me. I'm just going all direction together. I know.
No, it's good. It's good. I mean, you're bringing up one of the key ideas in your work, as far as I can tell, if you're reading a Blade Runner. This idea that actually the replicants are more at home in this technological ghetto than the human beings are, and
actually, this is the moment, if you would allow me. It's very Heidegger always was, he was arrogant. He was very about himself. It was always all about him. And he always said, I'm still waiting for the philosopher to actually read me. And, I must say that, as a Jew, it's easy for me to say it because, Heidegger was a Nazi and all these stories. So for me, it's easy to say it. That Heidegger actually is really an amazing philosopher, and actually I agree with them that we are still waiting for the one who actually to read him properly. So it's difficult for me to say it, but I think it's true. But so Scott, I think he actually read it. He actually understood Heidegger, even if he never heard about Heidegger, because there is always this Heidegger there is the early Heidegger of Being in Time, of 27, and then there is the later Heidegger of the question about technology in 44, in 54, and there is always this talking about this. Those are different kind of figures. Those are different kind of philosophy. I'm not going into the ethics issue. Like it was early Heidegger and then the Nazi Heidegger. Never mind. In the later Heidegger, he insists that we need to differentiate it between tools and technology with a capital T. So tools is like all these machines we are using, but it is not technology. And if we will talk about tools, we will not understand what technology is. Technology is like, in a way, technology. There is logic. There is some kind of logic to this technology. This technology, in a way, it's a gestalt. It's like a way of seeing the world. Like when I'm unable to see nature around me and to see everything in terms of total efficiency, including human being, I feel like I'm in a technological mode of being. Okay, so technological mode of being is not tools; it's a way of being thrown into the world. Okay, so in that sense, and everybody, like, in a way, accept this Heideggerian concept, but Ridley Scott, but Ridley Scott say no. You can, if you are, in a way, you say each kind of technological mode of being has his. It's possible to identify different kind of tools that are strongly associated with technological mode of being. So actually, the replicants, the androids, are the pure result of the techno-scientific mode of being. Okay, they are. There is this moment in which he's winning us in chess. Roy, the android. So in a way, he's a genius already. He has this endless IQ, if you like, or whatever. He's very smart. But in a way, he's the only one who has the ability to feel at home within this environment, which become already total technological environment. There is only 2 times in the movie. Twice you can see nature. This is actually amazing. You should actually, in the movie, it's more obvious that it's about. It's like I'm dreaming to have a ship which is real, but I have this ship which is actually an android. So back to the movie, there is in the first scene there is the light. There is wait a minute. There is.
The first scene is amazing in this movie. You're kind of like, are you kind of like, you're high above, you're drifting over the city, and you're seeing these like plumes of fire.
So, and there is a lightning.
Okay.
There is a lightning. So this is like, in a way, Zeus. This is very important. So this is the first time you see nature, and it's like Zeus. It's like if you really want to understand Scott. So he's telling you, I'm still walking in the. Like, my structure is the structure of the Greek myth, like Zeus. So this lighting say, we are still in this framework. I'm in the Western world. Okay, so this is the beginning of the Western culture. Zeus and all this myth. And the second time is in the test, which Descartes, there's this meeting between Descartes and Rachel need to go the Voigt-Kampff test. And
the test that they use to determine whether someone is a replicant or a human, and Tyrell, the kind of the big boss of this whole world. He has Deckard do the Voigt-Kampff test on Rachel, right?
So in the test, because he's in those towers, this is the only place in the city that you can actually see sun. It's all polluted, but it's very high. So there is this sunset, and he asked him to take off the curtain, in order to hide the sun.
Right.
So this is really important. There is only 2 times you can see the nature. The first time is the lighting, which is not exactly nature, because it is already a result of the polluted city. I will get to that in a moment. And there is the sun, but the sun is like preventing from technology to work. This is a brilliant moment of Ridley Scott.
Oh, so you need to hide nature for technology to work, is what you're saying?
What technology actually do, and this is very important. This is a Scott's brilliant insight. What technology want, in a way, it's very difficult to say technology want. It's not an entity, but in a way, what technology does is replacing nature with technology, with tools. And actually, the one thing that actually prevent technology from in a way
like fully dominating and taking control of everything.
Yeah, is nature. So the sun is still a problem. The water is still a problem. And this is the big issue, technology. And this is the real thing technology doing. If you would ask me one thing that technology really doing, and this is the reason Ridley Scott is a philosopher, it's replacing nature with tools, but we still feel that we are, nevertheless, we feel that we are in the world, that we're seeing nature. For example, we are in the lab and we're sure that we are doing experiment with nature. No, we are in the lab. This is not nature. No. In Israel, for example, in a way, you're going to see nature, but it's never nature. There is always this, in a way, it's called reserved, in a way. It's like a reserved place of nature. It's
nature reserve. Yeah. It's kind of like a, like a national park.
Exactly.
In the US.
So it's not really a nature. You're going to a national park, you are paying, you have this guard and whatever. And, in Israel, you're seeing in the sky, eagles, but all the eagles now in Israel are being recovered. They are taking the eggs to another place, and they help them to in a way, all the in the end of the day, all the eagles you're seeing in the sky are made by technology. Yeah. So in a way, you think you're watching nature, but you lost the ability to do it. And this is really a big issue, which Scott takes directly from Heidegger, I think.
Yeah. I mean, so let me try to echo this a little bit. So it's kind of like, on the one hand, you're saying this Heideggerian point, technology, it's not just a bunch of tools, it's not just a bunch of devices. It's actually a way, a mode of revealing, a way of sort of inhabiting.
It's more than that.
Life, as long as existence.
If you're looking on tools, you will never understand technology. This is Heidegger.
Right. And the idea here is that nature is actually like, isn't nature for Heidegger sort of like, in fact, it's an older form in which the world showed up. The world used to show up in a different way as sort of like this living, independent. It's something we encounter. It's other than us.
Yeah.
But then our sort of with the technological age, now the world shows up differently. We don't. It's not living independent. Something we encounter as like
all the
transcending
rivers.
us. Now it's like measurable, controllable. It's all just about being a resource.
For Israel, for example, we use all the rivers to do electricity, to make electricity. And if you go into the beach, it could be like an area of military or area of electricity or area of taking the salty water and making it into a sweet water or a place for hotels. And there is this small beach which called natural beach, like 2 kilometers, something like that. And so this is like, we are looking we are observing nature and seeing actually as a resource.
Yeah, and actually, so there's this illusion basically that we think we're still encountering nature in certain contexts, but actually it's like this highly like processed, controlled environment.
And if you like just one more comment, this revolutionary shift actually occurred before the scientific revolution for Heidegger. But this is a whole new topic. But it's very important that this shift for Heidegger is before the scientific revolution, because science is in a way an outcome of already the technological mode of being. It's not like applying technology. It's not like science is applied technology in a way.
Technology is primary over the science. Yeah. So I was just thinking with Blade Runner, this kind of explains that, like, there's no real animals, right, in Blade Runner? Like, isn't it just, it's always like artificial light.
Yeah.
The environment, very synthetic. There's all these like fake animals that are around.
The owl with the red eye. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, how do you say?
Or owl. Yeah. And then there's the snake that.
Yeah.
So one of the replicants that Deckard retires, or AKA kills, she's like, I don't know, how do you describe her? She's like
she's actually, it's once again, it's another myth, because she's Chava from the Bible. There is Adam and Chava.
Oh yeah.
And the Chava and the snake. So this is once again another myth.
That's a clear case where because it's even explicit in the dialogue. They mention something about the snake that first led man astray. I can't remember, but anyway, but the snake that she uses in her show is not a real snake. It's a fake artificial snake, and in general, like this whole world is populated by fake animals.
I think the real issue over there that she's in a way she's a sex robot in a way. It's difficult to say. She's actually, this is her goal. She's a killer and a sex robot. So in a way, I think Ridley Scott want to say something much deeper about sexuality in this age, which become mechanical as well. Like the snake, if you think about the snake as a symbol for sexuality, it's all in a technological age, it's all mechanical. This is like another very important insight of Ridley Scott. It's in a way, this is very Foucault kind of insight. I think he was influenced by Foucault.
Yeah, so maybe we could also just get out on the table this idea that you have in your work, that in a way Ridley Scott is a philosopher through this film, or like this film is doing philosophy somehow.
Yeah. So
you want to comment on that, or?
Yeah, I'm not in the field of. There is this field of cinema and philosophy. I would not argue that any kind of there are these kind of movies like The Matrix, which seems as if they have philosophy, but it's like in terms of philosophy, it's bullshit. It's simply a nice movie, but. I don't think Ridley Scott thought I'm doing philosophy, but I think that because Heidegger has this very important essay about the age of picture, the age of the camera. This is very
important. The age of the world picture, yeah.
Yeah. So in this article, he actually says that we are living in the age in which representation controls everything. In a way, since Platon, the world has been replaced with a representation, which goes back to the notion that the world has been replaced by technology. We are replacing the world with representations. So movies playing a very important role over there. So in a way, I think that if the like in the Kubrick movie in the Mechanical Orange, I'm not sure this is the name.
Clockwork Orange, yeah.
Yeah. So in the end, you have this scene in which you see the eyes completely open, being held open, and you could think that this is the eye from the first scene of Blade Runner, but never mind. So this is like to really understand that we are in the age in which cinema could actually be philosophy, but it's not my field.
Yeah, that's interesting. So it's like philosophy. It's it's like the most dangerous medium in the way, because it's like it's the medium by which representation is taking over. It's like a prime medium where the representation is sort of
exactly
taking over the world. So it would be nice if that something within that medium could itself like push back against that process. Yeah. And this is like an example of that, maybe, or something.
Yeah. And just a small comment, like in my last book, in the last proof, you receive it before publication, and I had this note. I don't know why, but I did it. And I wrote, Heidegger is not a philosopher. He's actually, wait a minute. He's actually a prophet. So, and I think Kubrick and Ridley Scott are more like Homeros or more like prophets. They are not doing cinema. They're not doing philosophy. They're actually they are prophets of the age, like Heidegger, like Kafka.
Yeah, that seems. Yeah, I mean, because it's like there's an element of critique in it. So, sorry, I wanted to bring up something. Well, maybe we could talk about three of the characters, and because I'm just thinking, in your work, you kind of do a character, you kind of focus in on. Well, first, like we've already been talking about, you talk a lot about the city itself, the environment itself in which Blade Runner occurs. So Los Angeles, 2019.
So actually, I want to say something about it, because this is a big issue.
Yeah.
Los Angeles, the weather is more like it looks more like Tokyo, Los Angeles. The weather over in Los Angeles already changed completely. It's a weather of Thailand or whatever. It's not a weather in the US, and it's all like big Chinatown. So the city is being polluted completely, and the environment has been changed completely because of the technological. We can see
there's trash everywhere, right?
Yeah, we actually can see it in front of our eyes today. We are changing the environment and we make it. We actually ruin this place. It's quite obvious already. So in that sense, Los Angeles is a city without end. Los Angeles is all over the world, and the year 2019, it's like over the corner. It could be tomorrow. It could be in 2 years from now. It might be already been, but I'm not sure. But like 2019, say it could happen in every moment. So yeah, with that comment to the character, I think that I would like to talk about Roy, which is the android, which is the leader of the android.
Right. Yeah, he's the leader. He's he's charismatic leader of the replicants. He's kind of leading this rebellious uprising.
Yeah, and he actually, he's the only character who understood the movie. And
like while it was occurring, what was his name? Rutger Hauer.
Yeah,
I think
he's a German.
Yeah,
and the last thing actually, it is his own word. It's like he understood it. It wasn't in the script or something. So right, yeah, he's in a way he's the leader. And after the card already killed everybody, it's like the two of them. And here are the very crucial moment, because they live for 4 years, and Roy Betty's 4 years are being over, and you can see his fingers start to to scramble, and he has this difficulty to control himself already. But he understands something. He has this meeting a few minutes before that thing. He has this meeting with Sheldon Tyrell, in a way his father,
right?
The inventor. And
so the inventor of all these androids.
Yeah. And he asks
Roy ends up finding him, confronting him.
Yeah,
because he's demanding from the inventor. He wants more life. He doesn't want to die after 4 years.
This movie has a lot. There's a lot of variation. So in one variation, he say, "I want more life, fucker." In one say, "I want more life, father." So, so he asked for more life, but then Sheldon, which is actually he's the big philosopher in the movie, says, it's not about how much you live, but how you lived. It's about, he's talking about
the quality of life.
Yeah. And about the intensity of life, about the light, about the brightness of the light. And he actually,
in a movie with no light, basically, it's like such a dark movie, you know?
So in a way you can say, so he lived 4 years and we live 40 years or 80 years. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is that it has a limit. It could be 4 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 50 years, it could be 100. But life needs to end. So he understands, Roy, that it is not about how much time you have in this life. It's about what are you doing with this time. So in a way, this is exactly a Heideggerian kind of shift. He's shifting from denying death, fighting death, to accepting it. Heidegger's most important notion, early Heidegger, of being in time, most important notion is being toward death. Death, if we want to be really free in an authentic way, we need to accept that that our life has an end. We need to accept it, and then we are free toward our death. As long as we are denying it, we are part of the day. I'm the dust man in a way.
Yeah. So this is this is kind of that key Heideggerian notion where, like being authentic for Heidegger is something like living in awareness of your genuine condition. So that means living in awareness of mortality. And then I guess like with later Heidegger, it would be like part of being aware of your condition would be realizing that you're like trapped in this technological world. And then part of authenticity, right? Isn't it also kind of like you need to be active, you need to take ownership of your life and like not just passively absorb like pre-given
in a way
stuff. Anyway, something like that.
Yeah, in a way. So in a way he understands it. And
so then, Roy does? Are you saying Roy or
Roy?
So do you think, let me ask you this question. Sorry to interrupt you, but insofar as Roy is like trying to extend his life, he's going back to the father, to his creator, demanding that his life be extended. Is that an authentic move, or is that like a sign? Okay, that's not. Okay.
And how do we know it? Because, once he's entered the room of Sheldon Tyrell, he said, I accept to see you sooner. Like, this is part of the role. Yeah, of course you have been programmed, to be here. So it's not authentic. This is all boring stuff in a way, he said. Okay. So okay, this is fascinating because this is one of the most interesting things about your reading of Blade Runner is like the connection to Oedipus here, where it's like, this is another myth. We are being. This is the reason the book begins with the lightning. Like we are still in the metaphysics of the Greek myth. So of course the eyes and the Oedipus, it's all over. It's all there. All this movie is a combination of Freud, Heidegger, and Descartes. In a way, but he's just in this meeting he actually and I would say something which is going to be quite tricky. So in a way, Roy understands that his mission is this is a big moment in this talk. Sorry for being such a dramatic. That he has a goal, and the goal is not killing Roy Descartes. It's not killing Descartes. Roy's mission is not killing Descartes. Is actually allow Descartes to be the father of the next generation, to get him free. So in the last scene, he can kill Descartes. but he's not doing it. In that moment, and he's not killing him for very good reason. Because the card is actually an android like Rachel who is not knowing it. And his mission, and I think he's been programmed from the first moment. This is his mission. The mission is the card. So the card doesn't know he's an android. And you know what? It might be that he's not an android. It might be a human being, but it might be an android. So Roy's mission is to allow, is first to help the card to look about android with as friends in an intimacy way. You know, he is the lover of Rachel. He's doing love with Rachel, so he has been felt in love with an android. So he might be an android. So the next step is actually to understand, and this is the reason that Scott is a big philosopher. The card needs to understand that he is not an android and he's not a man. He needs to choose. He needs to choose what he actually is.
Wow. So okay. So we gotta break this down a little bit. So yeah,
and this is our mission as well.
This is a big claim. So
this is our mission as well today.
So are you saying that the goal of Tyrell when he created Roy was for him to, Roy was kind of meant to target Deckard
in order for him to do it in the right way, he needs to get out of his program. In a way, he has been programmed to do it, but in order to do it properly, he actually needs to understand something about death. You need to go through a process.
So would you say that process that he needs to go through? So you're saying, the way I'm thinking about it is like, you're almost saying that Roy needs to lead Deckard through a type of initiation or trial, almost like a ritual.
It's all about the card. The only character really important in this movie is the card. They're all, in a way, the drama is, in a way, if you like to say, the drama inside the world of, if you're talking in Freudian kind of terms, it's inside the world of the card. Everybody,
And so, the hunt, so the hunt that's really famous at the end of the film.
It's a waste of time. Why Roy need to be hunted if he's going to be killed by himself in about 10, 15 minutes? Think about it. It's a waste of time.
Okay. And so are you saying too that Tyrell is kind of in a hidden way, this is what he ultimately desires
it's not in a hidden way. So this is actually, okay, this is, I think this is the most complicated issue, a place in my paper. And I think the most important. Yeah. If you are obeying to the Greek mythology, you know, the big issue in the mythology is about fate. It's about your ability to break out of your fate. So Roy is all the character has their fate, and the question is whether Roy breaking out of his fate, or it could be that he was also programmed to arrive to this scene to the card.
Right. Because your initial reading of the film, the superficial reading is when so another famous moment in the film is that, Deckard, he's hunting Roy, he's supposed to kill Roy, but of course Roy is totally in charge of the situation. Deckard has no real chance to kill Roy. And basically, at any rate though, Roy decides to save Deckard. Deckard falls from the building, but instead of letting him fall, Roy saves him. And what you think when you're watching it is, oh, this is Roy sort of taking charge of his own. He's not following the script anymore because he was designed to be a killer. But look, he's actually more compassionate than human beings. He's like transcending his own script. But I think, aren't you saying, no, that's actually mission fulfillment? Like when he grabs him, that was the mission, more human, was to educate Deckard through this trial.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, okay. I definitely didn't. I didn't understand the movie either. If that's right. Okay.
Actually, I'm not sure that this is a bit of a thing. I'm not sure Ridley Scott understood it as well. But if you're really if you're really thinking in terms of the Greek mythology, there isn't a reason to think that he's not like doing what he actually obeyed. Even if he, it's like Spinoza, you are sure that you are free, but you are not free at all. But the only character who is, it's all like mirrors for the card. And in a way, the movie, for me, happening, everybody familiar or heard about Descartes' famous night with 3 dreams, Olympic dreams. All the Western philosophy has been born from this night of Descartes being in Germany, being suffering from anxiety, and have these nightmares. Yeah, this is a very famous night. So in a way, the movie Los Angeles is actually the atmosphere of these nightmares, and all the figures over there are figures in this dream. And Descartes is simply Descartes, and he need to have some kind of transformation, like in a way to understand that Descartes' philosophy is a dead end.
So this so it's like okay. So so it's like an implicit critique of Descartes insofar as Deckard is really Descartes, and Deckard needs to go through this trial initiation at the hands of Roy Batty in order to achieve. What is Descartes fundamentally lacking, or what is Deckard fundamentally lacking prior to his?
He's too sure that he's a human being. But if
excess of certainty.
But if you're looking about the final version of the movie, he has this moment in which he's falling asleep and he sees this unicorn. Yeah, he's seeing this. The unicorn.
The unicorn of the origami thing that Gaff makes.
But in the last version of the movie, he's falling asleep on the piano and he has this vision of unicorn. This movie has a lot of version, but the 2007 version, which is the official version, which is Scott's version, he's falling asleep on the piano and he has this dream or vision of unicorn. And the unicorn is a symbol of the android. So in a way, and his picture is very similar to the picture of Rachel. So you can say that he's simply the same model of Rachel. So he's an android who is not he doesn't know that he's an android. Okay. So, but this is the moment which Ridley Scott really doing great philosophy. It is for him to decide what he is. Is he an android or a human being, or it might be some kind of new kind of combination version? I don't know. It is for him to decide.
So yeah, what he doesn't need is more certainty. What he needs is to kind of accept uncertainty, and he needs to make a kind of fundamental decision or something.
Okay, so certainty, it's in a way fixation. Uncertainty, it's freedom. I can testify about myself. I'm reading all day long, and each time I'm reading a new great book, I'm completely confused. Everything is breaking apart in my inside, and I say, that is the meaning of being free. I'm reading, and I'm not sure. In that moment, I'm buying it. Tomorrow I'll buy another thing. Like, I'm completely. I don't have any fixation about any kind of opinion, proof, nothing. I'm completely open to all kind of possibilities. And this is actually, if you're reading, I'm teaching Descartes for over 20 years. And if you're reading his book, the introduction, like this is the real journey he's describing. This inner journey of like falling apart. This is doing philosophy. Doing philosophy is falling apart each day, each and every day, falling apart completely to the most fundamental elements. And the movie, especially Los Angeles, she's shaking you off. You're being shaken.
And there's various instances of kind of breakdowns or shakedowns or falling apart in the movie. It's like Rachel, her identity breaks down. So Rachel is an android who thinks she's a human, and then she comes to realize, partly due to the investigative probing of Deckard.
But how do you know that she's really an android? Because Sheldon Tyrell has told so? How do you know?
How do we know? Isn't it he realizes that doesn't she fail the Voight-Kampff test?
She, but he's Sheldon Tyrell asked Roy he's asking Descartes a very good question. Did you ever check if a human being is like, if is it possible that I will fail in this test? The answer is yes. He asked, I want to say a negative, I want to see a positive. So how do you know that this test is walking about humans?
So doubt is cast on the test itself.
Yeah, everything is being doubted completely.
Yeah.
I want to, if we are toward the end, I think.
Yeah.
I want to actually end with what I found the most important thing in the movie, if I may.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure, please.
There is this this moment in which Descartes taking a picture, and he's using this machine, in order to see what actually there is inside the picture. I think I sent you. Are you familiar with? You remember with Are you familiar with that scene?
Yeah. He's like using this like machine where he can he'll like give it voice commands, and then it'll focus in, and so he's like probing this picture. He's investigating that, and the picture is a picture supposedly of Rachel's childhood. It's like a childhood.
No, it's actually it's a picture from there is this Leon android who has been murdered by Rachel. Rachel helped Descartes, and she killed Leon. And in his house they found this picture, and in the picture there is Roy, and Roy is looking on the other room, and Descartes using this machine, and he's doing a trick, some kind of trick, and is able to see Zora. Zora is the woman with the snake. Are you with me?
Yeah. I'm following.
And based on this movie, he's identifying her. But if you're looking on that picture, the actor is not Zora. He's an anonymous kind of actor.
Okay.
And the real message
I did not notice that. Okay.
Yeah. And the real message of Scott, that if you will rely on representation, the representation are always lying. If you go into the first scene and you see that the eye of Leon in the Voikov machine is green, but his eyes are actually blue. All those technology changing reality, and they make representation which are disconnected from reality. This is the big issue. If you're looking now today about Facebook, for example, the problem is that Facebook always give you to see what you want. They give you more than what you want. And like today, there was a paper from Stanford, I think, or something like that, researcher, who actually proves that the AI techniques always give you what you want to hear. They give you more than you, like more you. Like they help you to believe in yourself in a way, too much. Those representations are always lies. This is for me the most important message of the movie. And this is and the way the card is looking for Zora in this picture, and he actually seeing another woman. It's not Zora, but for him it's Zora. So this is the big lie. I know it's a bit complicated, but
but the idea that representation is not revealing reality, the idea that it's kind of distorting it, replacing it, that makes sense. And then the photo analysis scene, it's like Rick Deckard, he's zooming in, he's enhancing, he's trying to look inside the image, he's trying to get like a deeper handle on reality. Yeah. But it turns out that the representation, it's not really helping him encounter the real world.
No, instead, he's just, in a way, he think he's showing Zora. But if you're looking about the picture, it's not Zora, it's an anonymous character.
Yeah.
It's not Zora, it's someone else.
So I mean, so I guess this we could kind of close it out with this kind of idea. The idea is that this is how we need to think about technology. Technology, it's not just a tool that mediates our relationship to reality. It's shaping. It's possibly replacing.
Yeah, but the truth is that we are sure that we are seeing reality, but it has nothing to do with reality.
This sounds like, isn't this the kind of like, what's his name? Jean Baudrillard or what?
Yeah, of course, but he's not going back to Heidegger.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just, yeah. Okay. So yeah, you think that's the deepest layer of the film, and ultimately that layer of the film is echoing Heidegger.
Exactly.
Well, this has been a great discussion. I have to say there's more going on in Blade Runner than I realized.
It's called, by the way, the Esper machine.
What's that?
It's called the Esper machine, by the way.
Oh, that's the machine that Deckard uses, and Descartes or Deckard.
I think this is the best way to finish the interview. The conversation.
Perfect.